Carrie Buys Houses. I'm sorry we're running a little late today on our Facebook Live with some technical difficulties, but here we are. And I want to welcome Augie back onto the episode today.
Good to be here. Good to be here.
So today is part 2 of our series of the top 5 mistakes to avoid in real estate investing. And we went over the 5 different phases of a real estate transaction from start to finish. When you're buying and selling. So the first phase was last week, and that was basically up to the point where you get it under contract. So the negotiating, going to talk with the seller, being
Handling
prepared.
Objections, being prepared, absolutely, yeah.
Right, so if you didn't check that out, go back to the Facebook Live page, it's there. Today we're going to be talking about basically from contract to close when you're buying the property.
Yep, and there's some major things that you want to take care of during that phase. People think, oh, I got the contract done, I sent it off to the title company.
Doesn't stop there.
Well, I'm done. It definitely doesn't stop there. If you want to actually get to the closing table and leave with a set of keys in your hand.
Yes, and that's one mistake to avoid is get the keys from the seller. We weren't going to bring that up, but now that you mentioned that, I have left a table before without the keys, so because you're all excited.
Truth be told, been there, done that.
So let's talk about the top 5 mistakes to avoid from basically from the time you put it under contract to the time you close on it. So what's the first mistake?
Well, the first mistake people tend to make is not thinking about their timeline, Carrie, and inspections are a big part of that. Normally when you sign a purchase and sale agreement, you're going to have some inspection period. The inspection period is going to be anywhere, usually 7 to 21 days maybe. But don't think waiting till day 19 is going to be the best idea because, oh, I can try to flip the contract or I can try to do something else. Why? Because you're dealing with other business people. You're dealing with home inspectors. So you need to schedule a home inspection. Number 2, you may have to schedule a WDO, a wood destroying organism inspection. Okay? We've been in properties that have had mold, rats, bugs, all sorts of different kinds of things.
Squatters
as well. We usually
that the inspector found.
That's true. That can happen. But give your home inspector at least 5 days warning to get you in. I mean, you can always call somebody out of the phone book. But depending on where you are in the United States, some inspectors have to be licensed, some don't. The guys that say, hey, I can do an inspection for $99 are usually worth $99. We pay a lot more than that for an inspection, but we know that when the inspection's been completed, we have information that validates our assumptions or says we need to go back and renegotiate. Okay, so that's number 1, is the home inspection. Number 2 is that WDO. Do you get them every time? Not necessarily, but until you have a good eye for this stuff, you may want to make that investment. If you don't know how to recognize termites or termite damage or whether termites are active or inactive, or powder post beetles, depending on what part of the country you're in. There's different kinds of things that can consume a house. And, because of our pest guy, we actually saved $500,000. We were going to buy a very high-end house, and the place had been repainted, including the little holes in the sheetrock where the termites would crawl out.
They just filled it in.
They just filled it in. And fortunately, our pest guy is 6'7".
Right.
And he could see things that we couldn't see. And what he told us was the only reason the house was standing is because the termites were holding hands.
Right. So you want to buy a house, not toothpicks.
Right. Exactly. So WDOs can be really important, as can a septic. I think we mentioned last week.
Yep. And we backed out because of a septic issue.
Right. There was a septic issue. So item number 1 is to get your inspections scheduled, because those are going to impact whether you're going to go through with the transaction sometimes or whether you have to renegotiate. So once you get that squared away, next thing I want to know that I've got a good deal. Do I have the funding? Am I working with a private lender? Am I paying cash? Is it my cash? Have I negotiated terms with the seller? How am I financing this deal? Additionally, if you're flipping the deal, you need to understand the financing that your buyer has in place and their timing, their ability to get that deal closed. When I interview people that want to be wholesale buyers from me on those rare occasions when I will wholesale a property, I want to know how quickly they can close, and I want to know their source of financing. Where are they getting their money? show me really proof of funds. That's really what I want to see.
Yeah, proof of funds.
Okay, and if you've got a private lender, great, I want to talk to them. If you've got a hard money lender, I want to talk to them to know that they've approved you for X amount of dollars, so I know you can actually do what you say you can do.
But if you're going to be the one that's going to be purchasing the property, definitely get your financing, whether it's a hard money loan, a lender, a bank mortgage, whatever it is, your own cash. Make sure that it's available and ready to go at closing.
Exactly. The next thing that you want to do is, if you're putting the property in a trust, know who your trustee is going to be, who the beneficiaries are going to be. Additionally, if you've got a partnership or a number of people involved in the transaction, who are the different beneficiaries going to be? What's their ownership going to look like? So that you can provide that to your trustee or whoever's going to prepare your trust documents. Almost simultaneously with that, once you've got your inspections done and your financing squared away, you know you're moving forward with the deal. Next thing is you're going to need at least 30 days in almost every case to get your searches done. What kind of searches do we need? Well, I need two kinds of searches, usually. I want a title search, and the title search is going to uncover any encumbrances on the property. Are there any mortgages out there we don't know about? Are there any liens or judgments against the owners of the property that attach to the property? Because we want to get clear title. Even if I'm getting seller financing or buying subject to the existing mortgage, I need to know I'm getting a good, clean title. Now, will I buy a title that's not clean? Sometimes. It's going to depend. And so that's going to impact my exit strategy because I can't sell to a retail buyer with a clouded title. But I need to understand the condition of the title. Second thing I need to get, and this is the one that's causing more delays across the industry, and that's our lien search. Now, a lien search is going to look beyond what the title covers, because there can be liens out there that are not yet impacting the title that will transfer with the transfer of ownership in the property.
Right.
I think I once told a story here on your show about the $300 lawn mowing job that I got because we bought a property, didn't do a lien search, and I didn't know the county had gone in and mowed the lawn.
Oh, yeah, so that adds up.
And so we had to pay $300 for one lawn mowing job. Won't do that again.
But that could be a $30,000 mistake if this is like an IRS liens, a judgment, something that's out there.
Yeah, that could be other stuff that sticks to the property. So you want to know the condition of the title and whether there's any liens or judgments that are attached to that property before you close.
Right, and this is going to be your title company. So as soon as you get that house under contract, the first thing you're going to do is submit that contract to the title agent so they can get started on this, because like Augie said, it could take up to 2 to 3 weeks to get all of this back. So you don't want that to hold up closing. And we have a great company that we use here, and just recently, right before closing, they found a second mortgage that no one knew about. And this was not just a small mortgage, it was a $75,000 second mortgage that was somewhere out there. The heirs didn't know about it, we didn't know about it. So had we not done the title search and the lien search and closed this with a title company, we could have been on the hook for a $75,000 mortgage, which put the house upside down underwater. Yeah,
we had a similar thing with a $26,000 HOA lien that was not expunged by the bank's foreclosure. And the bank said, oh, use our title company, we can close tomorrow. Well, we would have had a $26,000 problem that came with that closing, but our title company uncovered it. It took us actually almost 3 months to get the deal closed. But it was worth it because we saved $26,000. The deal.
So spend the money on the lien search, spend the money on the title search. You can't get title insurance without it. So.
These are investments. We're investors. So think about how you invest your money.
Right.
It makes a lot of sense.
Okay.
And item number 5 is probably the most critical, and it's the one investors drop the ball on most frequently.
Yeah.
It's communications. You've got to keep everybody informed. There's a lot of parties that are involved, and this is your deal. This is your profit at the end of this transaction. Either whether you're buying, you're getting a good deal, you want to make sure it closes. Or if you're selling, you want to get that check, don't you? Well, how many people are involved in this transaction? You've got inspectors, WDO guys, septic, financing, trust people. You've got the title company. What else might you have in here? You've got the seller to keep informed. But also, somewhere along here, we might also want to bracket this and say, I might need to talk to a contractor. Because if I get a septic inspection and it says I've got to do a septic repair or whatever it might be, what's the cost going to be? That could change my budget. I get my home inspection, my WDO report. Do I need to talk to my contractor now, or do I already know what the renovations are going to be? So these are things that have to be, these are a lot of different people. Now, are you your own contractor? If you are, that means you're going to talk to an electrician, a plumber, a handyman, a landscaper, all these other people. Are you going to be ready to start working on that property the day it closes? Or are you going to wait a month and have $1,000 or $2,000 in wasted carrying costs and insurance and taxes and the other expenses that go with carrying a vacant house while you're ready to get it rehabbed or to get it rented? So these are things to think about. Your inspections, your financing, your trusts, your searches, but most importantly, communications. Keep everybody in the loop. Use emails, use text, use the phone. One of the things I'm finding with dealing with some younger folks in this business is they think everything works this way.
Right. When it's important and you're, coordinating with all these people and you've got financing and you've got, this is a big deal. It's sometimes more effective to get on the phone and talk. Sure.
And I don't know about you, but I know that I get multiple texts from different people. And so 9 times out of 10, I see the most recent text they've sent, but I don't go search back.
Right.
So if they sent me 3 texts in a row, I'm usually going to respond to the last one, which is the most recent, and I'll miss the other 2. So, I just put that out there for you guys. If communications is going to guarantee you getting a good deal and getting a paycheck at the end of it, then communication should be one of your key elements to think about. So that's what we do when we get a house under contract and try to get it to the closing table. And we're very fortunate. We have pretty much 100% hit rate on if we sign that contract, it's going to close.
Well, this is your power team, so it's good to have a great power team in place. And in fact, you have an event coming up.
I do have an event
coming up on that such topic.
Yeah.
So let's tell everyone where they can sign up for that.
Yeah. Well, they can go to creatingwealthusa.com, click on our events page. It's our Investor Summer Bash. I think we also have a link at investorsummerbash.com. And folks can go and sign up for the event. It's going to be the last weekend in August. It starts Friday night, the 25th of August, and it's the 26th and 27th, both full days, 9 to 5. And it's going to be an amazing event. I invite you to come. It's going to be along I Drive in a wonderful hotel right here in sunny, beautiful Orlando, Florida. So come on out and check it out. But really, it's all about the fact that teamwork makes the dream work. And if you put together the right team, we can help you to do that. We can show you how, whether you're in Florida or somewhere else. We've got people coming in from a lot of different parts of the country.
Yep.
And it's going to be a great event.
It's going to be a bash.
That's
so
right. Our
I would highly encourage it. This is one of my favorite events, other than the Quick Start event in October, but this is one of my favorite events because it's jam-packed, and you're going to, learn all about these different aspects to a deal and to how to be successful in that deal. Because like we said, it doesn't stop when you get the house under contract.
No.
There's so much more that goes on after. So that's what we're going to be talking about next week is our third phase, which is once you have the house, now what? You're probably going to be renovating.
I've got keys. What next?
What next? So we're going to be talking about the top 5 mistakes to avoid when renovating a house, which is fun because I probably I've made most of them. So all the mistakes to avoid from the basically contract buying right here. Take notes, and like we said, go on to Creating Wealth USA to sign up for the Investor Summer Bash. All these notes will be on my blog page as well at Carrie's Corner at Carrie Buys Houses. So check out the blog page, and you can subscribe to my YouTube channel as well, which will have all this info as well. So of course, if you or anyone you know is interested in selling a house, you can contact me at Carrie Buys Houses. And I think we've covered a lot here today. So thanks.
Yeah, awesome. It was a lot of fun.
Thanks, guys, and we'll see you next week.
Take care, everybody.